Hello, Lynn here from Early Riser Crafting, and today we begin a ocean journal, but it will require a trip to the US Post Office, and you'll see why in the next minute. Okay, so the United States Post Office used to carry these, and I stopped seeing these envelopes. I haven't seen them in a while, but they were great to hold ephemera because they have a very large, clear window. And every time I would go to mail a letter or to mail something, I'd pick up a couple of these. You know, there's no charge for them. And you could make, or at least start, a little journal just using these in the envelope style that I like to use, in which you put the envelope into, you glue this down, and you glue this down, and then you cover it all with paper, and you got the makings of the beginning of a journal. Then you cover it with the paper that you want, and it all works. But then I noticed that the post office, I think they discontinued that and went for more of a hard cardboard cover, because they're pretty much the same size as these, but they're all cardboard and you can't see through. They don't have that large window, which makes them really good to start a journal. So the first thing you would do is peel this off. You just put it in there, push it down, and this side, take it off. Okay, and here you go. You have the beginnings of a journal. Now you have to cover it with paper. What I'm going to use is a 12 by 12 Walmart pad that I use for my ocean journal. A lot of paper left from this. And this I picked up at Walmart, and it was on sale. Yeah, I got this for a good price, but now the price is, I think I got this at Walmart. Anyway, it's got lots of papers. So for this pattern, I am going to use the green starfish for the cover. And it's 12 by 12. Now the size of these envelopes going across 6 inches, which is a great size, but they're quite long. They're 10 inches. So these really work well for a 12 by 12. You can fold it over and pretty much cover the whole thing. So I'm going to do that off video. Okay, so the envelopes are 6 inches wide by 10 inches long. So I cut out 2 pieces, which is a better idea than trying to wrap it around the whole thing, because it can get a little smushy when you try to wrap it around. This way, this forces you to put an interesting lace or crocheted lace or some interesting washi tape along this corner once it's all glued down. So I have this side to glue down and this side to glue down. Now, gluing down can be difficult because you don't want your paper to bunch up or crinkle or do anything weird like that. So, and I'll just use this file folder as a background, and I'm going to take out, because I'm really starting to appreciate this Scotch tape glue stick, which promises that it's wrinkle-free when you use it paper to paper. And I have been using it, and it has been working really well. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go all around my edges, far in, all around my edges. But I'm not going to try to do the whole thing in one step. I'm going to go like halfway down. But making sure I get those edges. The edges are the most important. Okay. And I'm going to flip it over. Pretty simple. Line it up with my paper. Oops. Let me hook that up as best I can, as neat as I can do it. It shouldn't be a problem because I have measured it already. Then I'm just going to smush it down. I don't use berry glue or any other glue for this technique. The only glue I've been using is this glue stick by Scotch. Oops, sorry. Because I find that this really doesn't glop up on the paper and you get like a lump in the middle. Doesn't happen. It hasn't happened. I've been using it a lot. So I'm really happy with that glue stick. Okay. Now, because I don't try to do the whole thing at once. Now that I know that part's down, what I do is because it's hard to get the whole thing down in one shot. Now I can go to the edge of the actual paper, the cardboard itself, that the U.S. Post Office was so sweet to supply. And now I flip it over. And I just smush it down. And I make sure that I pull up any extra glue. And if you can see the white cardboard underneath, that's not going to be a problem at all. That is not going to be a problem. This is curving up a little bit in this corner. So I have to put a little glop in there and hold that down. Okay, because I like my paper flat. If I purposely crinkle it up, I'm going to crinkle up the whole thing, and it's going to be continuously crinkled to give it a certain effect. But for this journal, and I have a lot of extra ocean ephemera and shell ephemera, I want to use it up, so I figured let me just make another one. It won't be a problem. All right, so now I'm going to use this side of the folder, and I'm going to do this side the same way. Okay, now that both sides are done, I check along the edges. You see, that's how you want it, just like that. See the space in between? That's the actual cardboard from the original envelope. You don't want to try and wrap the paper around the whole thing. It's just too difficult. This is good enough. And then I look and I see if I've over everything, and I see I have some paper here. See? I have some paper that didn't quite make it to the edge. Can you see that? So I'm going to trim that off. And I use the envelope, which is such a nice thick piece of cardboard, as my edge. could also trim a little here too. But it goes fast because you're trimming along a very wide piece of cardboard, so you're not going to cut into the envelope itself. Just want to make nice and neat. Okay? Now the inside. I do not use these. I don't plan on using these because I find it's very awkward when you make a journal and you have to stick your hand in this way to pull something out. Even if I cut along here, it's just, I just find it too difficult and not worth it. I want to make it easy for the person who uses the journal. I like doing corners. I like doing belly bands, just easy ways that they can pull out their tags and their lined writing spaces. So the pattern I picked for the inside, I thought it's from the same pad. I thought it would be nice to go with a little wood, a nice wood effect. So, but let me double check that because I think I saw another option. Wow, look at that paper. That's going to go really, really nice. It's got a great texture. It's got this sort of green color in it also. This is going to be fabulous. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut two sides, 6 by approximately 10 inches. Okay, so for the width of my paper, I've taken about 1/16 of an inch off because I don't want to go right up to that fold. I want to have some space. See, that's where the two envelopes fold. Don't want to go right up to that. Just want to make it perfect. And now I'll glue this down. Okay, so the inside and the outside is all glued down. It's a nice space in between that's really important. And I do have some uneven gluing going on, as you can see. So I'm going to have to trim these edges. Now this 12 by 12 scrapbook pad comes with a lot of adorable little tags. So I'll be cutting all of these out. I don't know if I'll use every single one in this journal, but I'm going to take care of that now. Okay, now I have all these cut out. I'll be distressing them and using them in different ways inside this journal, which is going to be a thin journal because there's not a lot of space here for many signature pages, but that's okay. So what you have to do now is you have to measure across and decide how close you want your pages to get to the edge. I don't want them to go right up to the edge, so I need about 11, I would say just about 11.5 inches, maybe a little less. And same thing here, I don't want to go too close, so it's going to be 11.5 by 9.5. So I'm going to make that as a notation so I don't forget, because it's very easy to forget. $11.5 inches, or a little less, by 9.5. I didn't write that very neat, but I can see it pretty well. I'll write it better at the end of the video. So the third pattern I have selected from that scrapbooking pad is this very subtle look of sand blowing. And that's not going to be the first page. This will probably be the second page. Then I took a piece of very lightweight, I think it's resume paper, but it's really light, maybe 24 pounds at the most. It's 8.5 by 11. I folded it in half. And that's probably going to be my first page because the pages don't all have to match. Okay, we don't have to match the size of the pages all exact. So that will be the first 2 sets of pages. Now using a different Walmart pad, 50 sheets, all double-sided. I was able to find something that worked well with the whole theme of ocean, pebbles, shells. I thought this pattern looked really nice. And the inside is just a subtle, marbly kind of look, so I thought this would be good for the journal. So paper, all varying sizes. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pieces of paper, writing spaces for this journal, not even including the inside panel or this panel. And now we're going to work on the outside very quickly. So what I'm doing is I'm planning the cording I'm going to use for the outside to hold all the papers together on the inside. So I purchased this, I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was $3.49, I got it for $1. And that's going to look really nice when I start to thread it. Now this paper that I also got from the same pad from Walmart, I like it because these are very much like beachy colors, and these sort of look like cactuses, and I don't know, something about it. And the back side is great because it's a stripe. Stripes always work for beach and ocean journals and so on and so forth. So this will also be used for probably corner pockets. Okay, so when concluding this part of the video of our journal journey, I did want to clarify something. This pad that also included this paper and this sandpaper, that pad came from Michael's, not Walmart, so I do apologize. I did make a mistake there. This one is from a Walmart pad, and the stripe that I'm going to be using, this one, is also from a Walmart pad. And then, of course, I just made this a little neater for you, just to go over. So we did 3 sheets of paper, various sizes, and folded them in half. So the first page is 8.5 by 11, just a very lightweight piece of ivory paper. The sand is from that Walmart, not the Walmart, let me correct myself again, it's from Michael's, and it's a, what they call Seaside Oasis scrapbooking pad. And that is cut 11.5 by 9.5, approximately. And then this final one, which is from Walmart, I'm calling it Slate with Marble. It's about 40 pounds, and that's cut 11 by 9 inches. So everything is cut differently, in a different size. And just 3 sheets of paper make 12 pages. So that's considerable. And it looks flat now, but as we fill it up with corner pockets and tags and paper clips, it's going to get much thicker. So we're going to have a good time with this. So when we meet again, I just hope you have time to stop at your local post office and pick up 2 of these envelopes, and have a great day.